So discussions are going to take place for the future of Chiesa. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today guys, we touch on one more for Chelsea future again from South America, but also many other things to discuss, including Federico Chiesa, Douglas Luiz, and much more. Let's jump into it together. And so guys, let me start with some movements around Italian football. As I told you, with AC Milan, for example, pushing a lot for Joshua Zirkze's new striker. They're prepared to trigger the release clause from Bologna, as we said days ago. So Milan keep working on personal terms and on details of the deal for Joshua Zirkze. But in Italy, there is a player who could leave the club, an important player, and the player is Federico Chiesa, out of contract next summer 2025. At Juventus, the agent of the player, Fali Ramadani, will be in Italy to discuss the future of Federico Chiesa next week. So discussions are going to take place for the future of Chiesa. There is interest from Napoli, but not only, also interest from abroad. And this is why the situation of Federico Chiesa could be one to watch in the next days. His agent will speak to Juventus, but the feeling is that Juventus are prepared to let Federico Chiesa leave this summer as soon as possible, also to use that money for several deals they want to complete this summer. Theo Koopmeiners from Atalanta, Riccardo Calafiori from Bologna. Juventus have several priorities, and Federico Chiesa could be one to watch in terms of players leaving Juventus in the summer, because this meeting with his agent will be important, and Chiesa knows that Juventus and the new manager, Thiago Motta, who is signing next week, so in the next days, for Juventus, they are prepared to sell him. And so Federico Chiesa, together with his camp, with his agent, is exploring options around Europe and also in Italy, with Napoli and Antonio Conte interested in Antonio Chiesa. But again, is not the only solution, so let's see what happens there. But Chiesa could be one to watch in this summer transfer window. One to watch will be also Douglas Luiz at Aston Villa, because Aston Villa, because of their financial situation with financial fair play, could let one player leave in the next weeks, and one of the players who has the possibility to leave the club is also Douglas Luiz. It's true that there is interest from Juventus, but let me remind once again that Juventus' priority target is Theo Koopmeiners, so Douglas Luiz has to be an opportunity for Juventus, a good deal in terms of financials, maybe a swap deal. This is what Juve want to do, otherwise it's not going to be easy, and also the salary of the player is a crucial point. But Douglas Luiz could leave Aston Villa. Let's see if some club from Premier League will also move. He's always been appreciated by Arsenal. He was close to joining Arsenal more than 2 years ago. Let's see if Arsenal will decide to return or not. At the moment, Arsenal are not actively working on this one, but in general could be a player they appreciate, and also for other clubs could become an option, because for Aston Villa could be one of the players to watch in terms of outgoings this summer. So keep close eyes to the situation of Douglas Luiz. Keep close eye also on the outgoings at Tottenham, because the information is that Tanguy Ndombele will leave the club as a free agent, so they will start this process of players leaving the club. Already some players left on a free transfer, Ryan Sessegnon, Tanganga and others. So Tottenham are prepared to clear and change some things into their squad. Also, Celso is expected to leave Tottenham this summer. 1 year left on his contract, no talks over extension, and Celso has many possibilities in several countries. Betis is one of them, not the only one, but for Betis is an option. If they sell Nabil Fekir, Celso is a possibility for Betis, but there are also other clubs interested, so keep close eye to Celso, because could be one of the players leaving in the summer transfer window. And then Emerson Royal. My information remains the same. Emerson Royal would absolutely love to join AC Milan. Milan are interested in Emerson. He has 2 years left on his contract, so Tottenham want an important amount of money, something around 20 million euros. Milan want to pay less than this, also because salary of Emerson is an important salary of an important player coming from Premier League. So let's see how the discussion club to club will go. But Emerson Royal is giving priority to Milan. There is also interest from Villarreal, but the player is waiting for Milan to advance with Tottenham. So could be an interesting situation, the one of Emerson Royal with Tottenham prepared to let several players leave, and then there is going to be also other players like Brian Hill could be one to watch, Alejo Velic expected to leave on loan, so for sure there will be movement around Tottenham in terms of outgoings. In terms of incomings at Newcastle, Trafford is the priority target as goalkeeper. James Trafford from Burnley, Manchester City have 20% of the future sale. Club to club contacts have started. Let's see if Newcastle will be able to agree a deal. At the moment not yet, but talks are ongoing. Ramsdale and Mamardashvili are two players appreciated by Newcastle, but at the moment considered too expensive, also because of the financial fair play situation at the club. So not easy. This is why Trafford could be cheaper, and Newcastle consider him a very good solution. So talks are taking place. The player will be keen on the move, and so keep an eye on Trafford because could be one to watch in the summer transfer window for Newcastle, with some movements also expected there. In terms of movements, guys, for Chelsea is always time for opportunities. We know from South America they signed Kendry Páez. From South America they signed Willian Estevao, and the next one will be, because the deal is about to be closed, could be closed already next week, is a new fullback, and is called Pedro Lima from Sport Recife. Many clubs have been following him, also from Spain and from Germany, but Pedro Lima is one step away from Blueco, Chelsea group, Chelsea owners, because my understanding is that the deal would be, in case they will close that in the next days as expected, with Strasbourg. So the player would join Strasbourg in the summer transfer window, and then with a view to a future move to Chelsea. So they still have to agree on some details, but the player is keen on the move. The player said yes to the project, and so the next one from Brazil to Chelsea could really be Pedro Lima, a really interesting fullback, right back in this case, considered a really talented player. And so Chelsea scouts already gave their approval. Strasbourg are prepared to proceed with the deal, waiting now for the formal steps, for the final details, but also for Chelsea a big opportunity once again to sign a talent from South America. So one more for Chelsea, waiting also to sign the documents for Willian Estevao. Everything is agreed with the player, and with Palmeiras they're also busy with Luiz Guilherme to West Ham. That's why it's taking some time, but Willian Estevao is going to be a future player of Chelsea, remember, for summer 2025. And then, guys, let me clarify something also on Marcos Alonso, because despite the change of coach at Barcelona, the intention is still for Oriol Romeu to leave the club in the summer transfer window, and for Marcos Alonso to leave the club in the summer transfer window. For Marcos Alonso, there are several opportunities. The agent is the same of Federico Chiesa, so he will be around Europe in the next days to discuss several possibilities for Marcos Alonso, in this case as a free agent. My information is that there is interest from Girona, so he could be a possibility for Girona. Yesterday we said that Sergio Gomez from Manchester City is a concrete option for Real Sociedad. Talks have started. Now Marcos Alonso could be a concrete option for Girona. He also had other possibilities, so Marcos Alonso will take his time to decide, but there are no changes on the intention of the player and of the club. He's going to leave Barcelona as a free agent, and so for Barca it's going to be time to be busy on the market starting from next week. We know they are looking at Mikel Merino from Real Sociedad, but for sure a player leaving is Marcos Alonso. And so, guys, let me know your thoughts on all these stories. We mentioned one more for Chelsea project, Strasbourg in this case. Pedro Lima, your thoughts on this Chelsea project for the future, but also on all the other stories. Who should go for Federico Chiesa? Who should go for Douglas Luiz? Let me know your opinion, guys, as always, here in the comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon with Fabrizio.